Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build two model kits, at least start one after I finish the other. And of course, I'm here to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, you just lurk. You don't have to say anything. Lashbrook is here. Ghost Valve is here. Welcome to both of you on this fine Saturday night. That's right. It's a Saturday evening. I'm finishing up the Shin Burning Gundam, and then we will start the Unicorn Gundam Destroy mode. And I know what you might be thinking, Pat. Don't you hate building unicorns like the Banshee Norn and any unicorn? Yes. Why did you buy that kit? The price was really good, and it's been a while since I built a unicorn, and I figured that some people might enjoy me putting together. But also, maybe I've grown as a builder. Maybe I've grown to the point where this is the unicorn that I will like. Now, what do I not like about the unicorn? I mostly don't like the fact that so much of it, Harold says, don't burn your shins with some cheer jumping into the cheerleader board. Cha-ching. Thank you very much, Harold. Appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. So the thing that I don't like is this even going to show up? Yeah. All these clear parts that you can't see because of the background remover. The thing about the unicorn and Norn is it's got all those clear parts, and usually those clear parts have other parts on top of it that slide. And it just adds so much extra stuff on a 1/4/4 scale kit that I'm just like not super into. Sorry, I have to make sure that I have something that I need for later, which is again, oh, this will show up great. I need a stand for this high grade. That we're finishing up the Shin Burning Gundam. Parts on parts on parts. Yes, Harold. It just makes it really complicated because there's a lot of slidey bits and like it's just frustrating. And I think what ended up happening was I built a Unicorn Gundam and the Banshee Norn, which is an evolved form of the unicorn. I built two of those really close together years ago with like maybe one kit in between. And I was just like, I don't like building these. I don't want to do this anymore. In the same way, I don't really like the Strike Gundam because there's nothing really going on with the Strike Gundam. And I built so many different Strike Gundams. Harold would like me to hit the dance button. And you know what? I will, Harold. Thank you for using your channel points for the dance button. Here's this month's dance song. We haven't heard this in a little bit. Usually with the dance button, we hear it a lot at the beginning of the month because, especially the first stream of the month. The first stream of the month, people are like, oh, I want to hear the new song. And then they come in late to the stream and they're like, I want to hear the new song. And they're right to want to hear the new song, and I'm not mad about it. But it does mean that usually the dance button is top heavy. It's top heavy on the month. And by the end, and also maybe the last stream of the month, people were like, oh, let's say goodbye to that dance song. And that's fine. And that's that's totally okay. I was about to say that's their right. And that doesn't make any sense. That's an inappropriate use of that phrase. Here's the overhead. This piece fell off and I don't remember how it goes on. So I'm going to go back in the instructions here. Okay. So it looks like this. This is the way it goes in. It goes in here. I don't think I put this on right the first time. And so it popped off the second time. Which happens. So let's see if I can figure that out. Nope, that doesn't fit in right. This one is on an angle, and I think this is correct. So this should end up being correct, but it's not being correct. It's not coming correct, which is rude of it. Maybe it's supposed to be like this, and I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I had it on upside down. Maybe the other part is on upside down. No, yeah, okay. I was putting it on upside down, but then it doesn't really fit in. Let's see. This looks like the way it's supposed to go. But I don't know. I think I had it right, on Thursday when I built the legs, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't have it right. I hope everyone's doing excellent out there the old Saturday evening. I'm excited for... There it goes. Now it's fitting in. Okay, that's how it's supposed to go. Great. That was annoying. I hope everyone's doing great out there. The plan for tonight is, of course, to finish up the Shin Burning Gundam high grade, and then we will begin the Unicorn Gundam Destroy mode. And we'll put that together. That's a kit from 2009. This is a kit that was released this year, or the end of last year, to promote Gundam Build Fighters Metaverse, the celebration of the anniversary of Metaverse, or sorry, Build Fighters, not Metaverse. But most of this kit is from 2015 with some new parts, some of which we're building now. We're working on now. We're going to get H1 and H2. Yeah, H1 is 2023 parts. Yeah, I believe this kit was actually released in 2024, but it was designed in 2023 towards the end. But yeah, I don't think it came out till this year. This year we've had our new kits have been Metaverse, the Buildverse stuff. We've had a few of those, and predominantly it has been releases related to the movie Gundam Seed Forever. So that has been basically where our new kits have been coming from, and we've built one of those. I got it on display behind me. You can't see it. I do have my full display on, which obviously is, again, you cannot see because I'm using the background remover, but I do have it out and about because, let's see, H17. I recorded a video today and I needed to have the backdrop. Also, I don't use the background remover in video calls, Discord video calls. I use my regular, okay. Sorry. Saribot banned a spammer, and I was like, I didn't do it, and I didn't even see what it said. But thank you, Saribot. Saribot on Twitch. Thank you, Sari, and thank you for your bot for being good. We didn't even have to see that spam message from someone, which is excellent. And if it's a false flag, then they can be like, oh, hey, you blocked me, but I'm not, I don't know why, or whatever. Hello, Cyclone, welcome. So yeah, when I do like video stuff with people, I usually don't do the background remover like I am for the streams. And when I record Pat Baer's Anime Club, I don't like that. And also when I record my other video series, Kuma Baer, I like having the background. That one's cropped because it's designed for YouTube Shorts and Instagram and TikTok. So I kind of like having the wall of box covers. I like having that wall in shot on a on that kind of thing. But for streaming right now, we are experimenting with the current setup, which is to use the background remover. And especially for game streams, I'm really enjoying it for the Tuesday streams. It's really nice to have. And when I did the Pat Baer's Anime Club that was live on stream, looking, we had the website up for AniChart. I like that. I think that is neat. So, okay, so we got to do, this is going to go here, this is going to go here, this is going to go between them, this goes on the other side. Now we'll switch to H2, which is, again, some of our new parts here. Working on our wings here. Our cool, our wings that also have beams coming out of them, so they become beam shields, which is cool as hell. The Shin Burning Gundam has some cool parts. It also has some effect parts. It can have a beam punch and a beam kick, and we will do that at the end of the build. That's the last thing we'll do. And that's why I have a stand ready, because if I put the beam on the foot, it won't stand up on its own. So you got to get a stand going there. It won't stand without a stand. That's why they call it a stand. Is this the right piece? Yes, it is. That's 17. And then we also need 18. So we'll put that there. Hooray. Yeah, so today I did have a D&D session. I don't go into specifics about it because it is, there are two people in the crew who don't want their business out there. Specifically, before we decided to be this thing, in our like zero session kind of stuff, or session 0, however you want to say it. It was discussed like, hey, I know that a lot of us are in the entertainment world. We are not doing this to record it as a podcast. We're not doing this to try it out as practiced for like a like an actual play video series or anything like that. This is just a fun thing because we like D&D and we want to get together and do stuff, which is important. It's an important thing to do when you have a bunch of people who are in creative fields or content fields, that kind of thing, right? Like D&D and Fiasco and Lasers and Feelings and Pathfinder and all the other various things that I play, I've never monetized any of that, and it's nice having a thing that I don't monetize. It's kind of incredible that I have a thing that I don't do anything with in any way, shape, or form. The closest is that around Christmas time for 2 years, I was on the Beastcast, a Giant Bomb East podcast, where we did some stuff. And then I think I did it 2 years. 2 years. I did it 2 years. And then I was unavailable. And by that point, they had grown. And so they didn't really need me to come in. Originally, it was because they needed to have more bodies involved. And also, they wanted to do stuff with me, which is very kind of them. But then they got busy enough or big enough on the as far as employees on the East Coast that they didn't need me to jump in. But anyway, that's the closest I've been to like monetizing this one hobby. And there are 2 people in the group, in the crew, that literally can't do anything like that. They are not on social media. Their jobs are such that they do not have an internet presence. So they literally couldn't do that even if they wanted to. And this is their hobby time and their outlet, which is awesome. And it also keeps us from ever thinking about doing anything with the project that we're currently in. As an update, because I know some people, I told folks what we were doing. Today's session, we did indeed find a dragon. My DM put a dragon in the dungeon we're in. The final boss of this dungeon is a dragon. We are not convinced as a party that this dragon is a real dragon. We think it might be an illusion or some kind of conjuring or a summon. But we don't think that it is a dragon that belongs there. Evidence, investigation checks, and also the smartest person in our group rolled really high and was like, how could a dragon get in this room? The doorway is small. So this dragon just like the dungeon built around the dragon is the conclusion that they're like, or what? So where we left off, we have not engaged with a dragon. A persuasion check was used, and I had to roll against persuasion because, as I stated, my Echo Knight is pretty dumb, and he is very interested in fighting a dragon because he'd like to know how strong a dragon is. If he and his echoes are stronger than a dragon. So he is very interested in fighting this dragon. And members of my the party are not as invested in that. They are not as interested in fighting a dragon and seeing what happens. So persuasion told me basically my character is not rushing in, is waiting and seeing based on until they get more facts. The persuasion, because they won the roll, right? They won the persuasion check, whatever. But the person basically, in character was just like, hey, let's find out more about the dragon so you know the best place to punch it ahead of time. And so like obviously again, I wasn't going to do it because I lost the roll, but it was fun to be like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, my character would would listen to that and would be like, yeah, I do want more information, sure, because like, oh, we're definitely going to attack it, but yeah, all right. It was very fun. I'm still tickled by the very notion that my DM fucking put a dragon in the dungeon. He's so goddamn proud of himself. Jesus Christ. I was like, oh, you fucker. It's very funny. I know he's not the first. He won't be the last. Others have done similar, but it is funny to me. I have not been watching Evo. I know that Evo has been happening. I am a person that does play a fighting game on occasion. I do like a room full of fighting game friends. I think that is a good time, but I have not been invested in watching streams of it. Do give a shout out, of course, to Sonic Fox, who is the best Mortal Kombat 1 player in the world. And Sonic Fox continues to be awesome and whip ass. So congratulations to them for their victory. That's cool as hell. The best Mortal Kombat 1 player in the world is, again, a furry. I said fury there. There's also fury, but furry was the word I was trying to say. So that, again, rules, whips ass, that a queer black furry is the best Mortal Kombat player. That continues to be great and just fun. Fun and cool. Let's see. Is there anything else? So yeah, I am not super up on what's been going down with Evo. I hope it's been fun. I have a few friends there. I hope they're having a very good time. But yeah, I was not paying super close attention to the deets on that. I do not have a concrete story here because more information has not come out. This was posted last night by Steven Totillo, and we folks are expecting more in the coming days on this story. But his tweet said, "Breaking: Bethesda Game Studio workers have unionized. Not the same as the QA union. This is different from the QA union, which already exists. This time it's quote-unquote wall-to-wall. 241 developers, including artists, engineers, programmers, and designers, per CWA. And they say Microsoft has recognized the union. You may remember that Microsoft said that they would not stand in the way of Activision groups trying to, and teams trying to unionize because they were trying to purchase Activision and Activision Blizzard King and have that go smoothly. So they thought perhaps we will just take a sure, do your thing stance on unions. And that is, of course, paying dividends for all Microsoft employees. And that whips ass. Harold says, the closest I got to Evo was LRR's Street Fighter 6 tournament on Thursday during their subathon. Yes, the now concluded subathon did have a Street Fighter 6 tourney. Got a good little fighting game community in there, fostered by goodwill from the community in general, specifically Adam, fostering some good vibes in the fighting game community within Loading Ready Run. Like I said, I haven't watched any Evo. I've just been paying attention. But congratulations to Bethesda Game Studios. I look forward to a full announcement. But I did, right now I have not seen anything. Most likely because the agreements came in on the weekend and they're waiting for the weekday to make a big announcement about it. But yeah, good for them. I am, this stream is a pro-union stream. We are always in favor of unionization. We are, despite the brief time in my life where I was indeed management, a reminder, and I say this when people ask about it, I never wanted to be a manager. I resisted it. I eventually said yes to the role of being a manager at my former employer, specifically because it involved a raise, and it was to then hopefully protect future people. Part of the deal was that it meant that I could hire folks, and I could hire the people that I wanted to have the job. I could move people from a internship basis into a hourly position. There were a lot of benefits for many people in that going there. Again, I would not have chosen for myself the role of working in that position, but that position was thrusted on me is not the right term, but that position was, I was approached for that position, and I was happy to say, yeah, all right, yeah, okay. But again, not necessarily my goal. My goal was never management, especially when it became part of my job to worry about people checking, and it makes sense, right? But it was a part I didn't like, hey, make sure that this math checks out, that they're clocking in and clocking out makes sense, and the hours submitted is right and all that. And I was like, I don't want to do this shit. But all right, fine, I'll do this shit. I don't wanna. Eventually, I apparently had to. Okay, so backpack is going on. The backpack wings are going to go on here. But yes, unions do rule. Congratulations to the 241 folks at Bethesda Game Studios. I look forward to the official announcement. But, you know, I'm not saying that Totillo made it up or anything. Just that we have not had a full announcement. Okay, so these backpack can split up and become front shields with some cool parts on them. So we will do that. Oh yeah, we also have 2 more little parts that need to go on here. These here. So I can put this on like this, but also these parts do come off. And so we'll do all of that and stick these parts on, which are the extenders, because we got to put on the beam shield parts of this. So we'll do that. The beam cloak, I should say. Not beam shield. It's like a cloak here out of beams. So that's going to be, that goes like that. That goes like that. Okay, so this is going to go on like that. And get rid of this part here. Let's assemble the cloaks here. All right, so we want to take these off. We're going to leave the backpack on. Take this off. Take this off. These come off. And then parts of the part of this pops out like this. Pops out like that. And then that pops out like that. Like that. Okay. Let's see. Other things we can chat about tonight. I do not have any talk of any closures or layoffs in the gaming industry to chat about. But one thing to happen this weekend, apparently, let's see. Sega stood up for one of its employees, which is always nice to read. This is a Sega of Japan, because, you know, laws are different in different countries, and liable laws are certainly different. But it appears that there was someone who has been described in this article as a serial harasser. Okay, so let's see. We gotta go G2 6 is gonna be this piece here. So G26. Apparently this person, and they their basic statement is they're gonna continue to go bat for their employees. But this was a lawsuit in Japan that they filed and won against someone that we do not know who that person is. Individual has been ordered to delete all of the harassing posts and not do it again in the future. Let's see. This is Sega saying we are involved in human rights where the acts of slander that cannot be subjected to employees and the harassment of violent acts. We ask you refrain from acts of damage to the dignity of our employees, which is a very like, hey, don't be an asshole. It's a very corporate, hey, don't be an asshole. And again, that's through translation because these are, in fact, in Japan here. Let's see. This is after, you know, this again, a very small story. We don't know what's going on with this, but if it is a something that seems like it is going to move forward and continue, where in fact Sega does have their employees' backs, that does encourage other companies to possibly take similar instances. And then this article from GameDeveloper.com does mention how Bungie did manage to sue somebody that had been targeting staff at Bungie for quite some time. And now that actually did manage to actually go through, which is nice. All right, so then this is going to go connect like this. And then that's for the backpack, but I don't necessarily want that version of it. I want to do the other version of it. Do this and then this. Yeah, okay, so that's what I want to do. I want to do the shield version of this. So that goes like this. And then this part goes on G1, which is this. So we're basically done with this kit right now. We're just going to do some cool effect parts, take some photos with the effect parts, and then we'll move on to the Unicorn, which will be fun to work on that. The Gundam Unicorn Destroy Mode. So then this has got to go like this. Oops, come on. Work the way I need you to. There we go. Then we can take this hand off. We can put on this hand. And then this attaches like this. Is it? Yeah. And then, yeah, now this thing has a cool shield that goes on one side here, and then I'll do the other on the other side. That's neat. And it's a beam shield. I find that to be pretty cool. All right, so this goes like this, goes like this. That's okay. This is the back part of this here, so it'll go like that and like that. This. Let's see other stories we can chat about tonight. Let's see. Sorry if I'm a bit low energy. I did have things that I was doing today. As mentioned, I did have my time working on videos. I shot 3 videos today. 2 of them are under a minute each, but you know, there's still plenty of takes because I want to get everything in. I was so annoyed. One of the videos I shot today for Kuma Baer, I was stumbling over my words and struggling, and eventually I finally got it, and I was like, I got in everything I want to say, and I looked at it, and it was 1 minute and 3 seconds. And to be a YouTube short, you have to be under 1 minute long. And I was like, well, I can either try to edit this and try to find a natural point to trim it down, or I can record it again and just like talk a little faster or say one less thing. And so I chose to say one less thing and re-record it, but I was annoyed because, when I did it again, first take that time. It was the first take after many failed takes. So I was at least happy to get that done. I recorded a new Pat Baer's Anime Club, which will go out for everybody on Monday, but it will go out tomorrow for my $5 and $10 patrons. So they'll get that tomorrow. But yeah, I finished that, and that's looking pretty good. That was a fun video to shoot. It is an idea that I should have thought of years ago. Well, I talked about it on stream before, about doing a half year. Basically, I talk about 10 anime that are my favorite from the first half of 2024, and then, you know, it'll be nice to see what didn't make the list because of shows from the later year. Or, which I don't even know if I remember saying that in the video, it could be that there's something I didn't watch the first half of the year that I'll get to later because I just like skipped it. And then people were like, no, you got to watch this one, Pat. This is the show. Even narrowing it down to 10 shows for the first half of the year was tough. I did not include one show because it didn't actually get to 12 episodes. So it, fortunately, Whisper Me a Love Song is ineligible for my list. And hopefully it will become eligible because hopefully, for the final year list, because hopefully there will be a episodes 11 and 12. They will finish. Hopefully they'll finish the fight. All right, let me put this on the stand here because it's kind of awkward to get this beam shield together. So let me get it on the stand here, and then I'll try to fix it. This beam shield is a cool idea. Turning the wings into shields is neat, but it is kind of frustrating. There he goes. I got it. All right, so here is the cool shield. It opened up, which is annoying, but I'm going to take a photo of this, and then I will put this back together in backpack form, because then I'm going to put the beam effects parts here that are right here to finish this kit off. We'll put that on there. So I got to take this thing apart, but after I take a photo. I want to get a photo of this mode first because it looks cool. I would not display it this way, I don't think, because it is a little finicky, but the idea that you can do it is pretty neat. And again, this is a kit from that released this year, so it is a little frustrating, but it is throwing some interesting ideas on a model kit from the year 2015. So I understand why it is not perfect. All right, let me get my you know, you're looking at the top-down view. It doesn't look like much, but from where I'm standing or sitting, it looks pretty cool. So just get my phone out here and take a cool photo of this. Let me pose it in a way that's cool looking. Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm looking for more news here. Oh, okay, there's a wrap up of Evo. So we can go through that. Yeah, let's go through that. Let's look at from Polygon Evo 2024, all the best big reveals and announcements, not best, just big. They're qualifying it that way, which I think is fine for them. Let's see. Samurai Jack and Beetlejuice are going to be in multiverses. I have not played multiverses in quite some time. I don't actually think I really want to go back to it, but Samurai Jack is a good way to get me to consider it. I'll tell you that much. Fucking telling me that Samurai Jack is going to be in the thing does make me pause and go, well, maybe I want to check that out again, because Samurai Jack rules. Samurai Jack is very cool, and maybe I do want to play him in multiverses. So, I don't know. Again, I'm not saying for sure that I'm definitely 100% invested in going back to it, but yeah, Season 2 of Multiverses starts in July here, later in this month, so that's kind of fun. Obviously, Beetlejuice, not obviously. There was a data leak a while ago, and people knew that Beetlejuice was coming to the game. So this is not a surprise for a lot of people. But Samurai Jack, I believe, might be a surprise. Also, Samurai Jack is not out soon. He is coming at some point in Season 2. One could assume that we're getting Beetlejuice close to the Beetlejuice movie release. One would imagine. But yes, on Tuesday, Samurai Jack is there. A new mode and a new stage, which is the Warner Brothers Water Tower, which is a fun idea. there are King of Fighters DLC characters coming, and so the only thing I want to say about this is I know so little about King of Fighters that I had no idea. I have no idea who these people are. I don't know anything about Vice and Mature, but I do think that having a character in your game named Mature is funny. I think that's funny. I'm fairly confident it's not supposed to be funny that there is a character named Mature, but I do think that that is pretty good. I think that's pretty great. They got a character in this game named Mature. Maybe she fucking whips ass, but I don't know anything about her. I believe that they used to fight together, but they don't in this. Let's see. SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos is coming. It's available now for Steam, and then it's coming to other things, I believe. This is a remake of the 2003. So it's coming to on Monday. It is coming to PC versus GOG. It's on Steam right now. And then also on Monday, you can get it on Switch and PlayStation 4. And apparently it has rollback netcode. So if you love the 2003 version of the game, that's enough reason to get it now, is just for that sweet, sweet rollback netcode. That I know that you would be psyched about. But also, if you are very, 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 very psyched about this game, you probably know that it got announced, and you might have even bought it on Steam. I don't know. Maybe you're waiting for the PS4 version. But that's very fucking cool. Stuff I don't know about. They showed more of the 3-on-3 Hunter x Hunter fighting game, Nen Impact. As a fan of Hunter x Hunter, I appreciate that it is called Nen Impact, because that is a reference to Nen, which is very important in the world of Hunter x Hunter. I don't think I'm gonna buy this. It's from Aiding, who were the co-developer of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, in the past, of course. Harold's been playing Multiverses regularly. Okay, nice. They also worked on DNF Duel. That's, I think, their most recent game. It is coming to Switch, PlayStation 5, and Windows PC. It does not have an Xbox release as of right now. This is, again, the Hunter x Hunter fighting game. And cool. All right, I'm going to keep the wings on, and I put the beam on there. I don't want to put the beam out on there. I want to do the fist. So we're going to do the beam kick and beam fist attachments here. Basically, this is just going to attach to the hand here. You can see that this little piece right there is just set right for this effect piece to slide right in, which is better than the when I had the Maxter Gundam, which has a fist mode like this. The Maxter Gundam was really annoying, or Gundam Maxter was really annoying to get the fist on, so that was easy. And then the other one is the foot effect, which will be the last thing that we have to assemble for this. I do want to say, ArcWorks is publishing it. Arc System Works is publishing it, which is a great publisher for this kind of thing, because especially as a fighting game, they know who to promote it to. The final roster, let's see. They've been releasing, apparently the whole roster is out. They've got the people you want. You want Gon, you want Killua, you want you don't really need honestly, let's be real. You don't need Leorio in the game, but you want Hisoka, you want Bisky, Kurapika is good to have in there. And then apparently Kite, Moral, and Razor are in it. Hell yeah, Kite in there. And then also the King of the Ants is in there. And I'm like, yeah, okay. These are characters that should be in this game. That makes some sense. One of the things that kind of fucking sucks about Hunter x Hunter in general is the lack of ladies in the world that have any cool abilities or strength or get to do good shit. So Bisky's inclusion in there is nice because Bisky is seemingly the most powerful woman in that world, or at least the most active, powerful woman. So it's nice to have her there. It's one of the major bummers of Hunter x Hunter. There were some cool ladies that got in there, but they don't stick around that long for various reasons. Kind of fucking sucks about it. All right, so now I got to put this foot on because this thing does have big kicks. It's got some big kicks we got to do. So, all right, so this piece is that is this one. This one goes on here, and it goes. There's how do I attach you? Okay, attaches to this part. I get that part. I get that part. Okay. Oh, okay. You go like that. You go like that. Great. Then we got to attach the rest of this on the outside. Ooh, it is warm in here. I don't know how that happened because it's been kind of cool today. But yeah, it is warm in this room. I am sweating in here. Luckily, I haven't had to do any yard work for a while. I will soon, unfortunately, because it's been raining a little bit, which is nice because it's kind of cooled off the humidity a bit. But that does mean that I haven't been able to do mowing the lawn, and all of the lawn needs it. So I'm going to have to do that at some point. But anyway, here's our fist here, our power fist, and also our power kick here. Which is silly and fun, and I very much enjoy it. From the Shin Burning Gundam, and then we got the cool effects parts and all that. And this kit's fucking done. This kit is donezo. We are good. I could put these up a little bit for the photo, but yeah, this is the Shin Burning Gundam. I got a good deal on this. I was happy to build it because it is fucking cool as hell. And I knew that it would look rad, so I was excited to put this together. Because I like this kit within the realm of the show, which I'm not the biggest fan of the fight series, but I do appreciate that it means that we get some cool kit bash style bullshit set out as official kits. Hello, Lord Crashington. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. All right, let me get a good little photo of this here. This photo I'm taking right now has me in the background taking the photo, and that's fun. Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button. I will again. Second dance in the night. Here we go. I'm also drink a little water because I'm thirsty. So I'll dance a little and drink a little water. Oh, yeah. And as I was saying right before Lord Crashington came in, it's also very hot in this room, so I'm only going to dance for so long. This little stand comes in handy for things like this. I don't expect to display the Shin Burning Gundam. If I did, I don't think it would be with the effects parts, even though they're cool. I would definitely be using this sword because this sword whips ass. But yes, Lord Crashington, it does have cool effects parts. The wings, the fact that you can do, which you cannot see here because we already built it, Lord Crashington, and I'm not going back. You can check the archive. It does have double the amount of these. It has more of them so that you can do a beam shield style cape or cloak, which is very cool. Instead of just doing the wings, you can do a whole cloak of it, and that's very fun. And then, of course, the punch and kick are both really good. But I think the beam sword, the way the beam sword is like fire, I think looks really neat. I put a little bit of a marker on there just to kind of let it pop a little bit more, and I think that's very good. So if I was going to display this kit, it would be with the sword, but I also don't expect to display this kit, so that's a bit moot. All right, so that is that kit. We have completed it. It is time to switch to the Unicorn, and then we'll get rid of this image because I don't need it anymore. The Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode. This is a kit from the year 2009. Get my instruction there. It has very few stickers, which you always love to see. At least I always love to see that. 2009, so these are not numbered in a way that I can easily read. They're symbol based. That's fine. It does have one thing I love to see in a model kit. If it's got the idea of colored polycaps that are not just black, I love that very much. That is a small little thing. It means nothing in the long run because you don't see polycaps, but it is fun to build with a colored polycap. That's just fun for me. That's a little bit for this guy. It does have some clear parts here, which are the bane of my existence, but make this, particular thing pop. They're also, in this particular lighting that I have, kind of hard to read the numbers. So you may see me pop out a clear piece and then go, damn it, that's not what I wanted. We also will have some undergating in here on occasion with the clear parts. So I have to be wary of that. I have to be, as they say, vigilant. They do say that, but I will have to be vigilant on a few parts. And then, let's see, is there anything else I want to say? Yeah, there's the clear face part is the only other part that's clear. Again, I am not the biggest fan of unicorns and Norns, most likely because I built a bunch in a row. But I did see this for a good price, and I did think there would be at least some people who wanted to see me build a kit that I wasn't excited to build because I don't do punishment builds for myself. I don't buy things that I think I would hate. I, on occasion, hate things that I'm building. But that's not from a place of, oh, I know I won't like this. This will be good content if I spend money on a model kit that I fucking hate to build. Like, that's just not my style. That's not how I operate. As you, the viewer, are well aware. I have to do one thing real quick here. Sorry, real quick. I just have to check. The global oopsie from CrowdStrike did indeed affect Amazon. And a order I placed yesterday did not ship until like 2 hours ago, instead of shipping during the day on Friday. And there is a note here under my orders on Amazon. A small number of deliveries may arrive a day later than anticipated due to a third-party technology outage, which is like, yeah. That's probably not even an issue with Amazon itself. It's most likely an issue with the post office, which is most likely an issue with the airports, which is, of course, CrowdStrike's issue. I am going to say a thing because it sounds interesting and sounded like a fun fact, but I don't know if it's true. So I did not confirm this on my own, but I believe that the CEO of CrowdStrike, years ago was high up at McAfee when McAfee put out an update that caused computers to shut down because it thought that the Windows registry was malware. And again, I have not specifically verified that information, but that information was presented to me as fact, and I thought it was very interesting. Again, I didn't do my due diligence, but it does appear to be that the CEO of CrowdStrike, this is not their first unbelievable L. Unmitigated disaster. What is up here? Okay. Unbelievable scenes out there. As Lord Crashton says, I love when software that nobody in normal life has ever heard of does so much damage to the world's ability to function. Indeed. Last week says, weird. Most of my Amazon stuff is coming. Excuse me. Sorry. Most of my Amazon stuff is coming sooner than expected. Well, it just, all of the airports got fucked up yesterday. So there's two reasons why my stuff would be delayed, right? One is it didn't ship because airports and mailing and all that. And two, because Amazon probably was just winding down from Prime days, right? So if you buy something on a Friday, it might be a little bit of an issue. But anyway, it didn't ship until today instead of shipping yesterday. It's fine. I'm in no rush. But I did want to double check to make sure it actually had shipped. It's another thing for me to build. I am just trying to, when money is available from the beauty of all of y'all, I try to spend that money on model kits to keep my backlog, to keep stuff in the backlog, because I keep building model. It's this weird thing, friends, where I keep building model kits and I don't stop building model kits and Lego sets. And so I need model kits and Lego sets to replace the ones that I build. I did have that point there, thanks to your generosity, folks, where people bought stuff for me to build on stream. And so I did have that run of mostly things from my backlog, or not my backlog, from my wish list, which was very cool. We count that as a huge win. E16 and E17. Again, a little hard for me to read these. That's 15. Where are you? E16, 17. These pieces. Great. But yeah, because of your generosity, you and folks like you, I was able to build some stuff that was not in my backlog, but now I'm returning to building things for my backlog. I do have stuff that has been in my backlog for a while that I would like to build. This actually, the Unicorn has been in there for quite a bit, so it is nice to build that. But I do have some new stuff. I've got some Lego kits. I've got some model kits. I do have something from Lego Dreams. That's all capital letters, Dreams with a Z, followed by 2 lowercase z's, which is a sub-brand that I have never built before. So I am interested in finding out what Lego Dreams is all about. But it is also part of their year of space because of the space anniversary. And it is a cool looking model, or Lego set, I should say. So I am interested in building that in the future, of course. And also, I did get another premium Bandai kit. I pre-ordered this premium Bandai kit way back in February. It is another variation of the like Hindry line. It's got a cool looking shield. I forget the name of it. I will look up that. But it is it is, again, when I say I've built everything from when I say that I have built everything possible from Witch from Mercury, I am including stuff that was released, generally, and I don't count the premium Bandai kits. But I have built a few premium Bandai kits, including the Elfrith that had the cool punch arm that I really liked. This is called the Heingra, Heingra, Heingra high grade. Can I put this in? Can I easily throw this here? There it is. Great. This is the kit that I got off the Amazon, off of the premium Bandai site. I pre-ordered this kit way back when. As again, it looks very similar to Hindry. I like the colors. I like the shield a lot. The price was not bad at all. And I have not, that's the only kit. I don't have any more premium Bandai kits coming this year. Have not had the funds available to do that. Sometimes they are incredible and I gotta get it. Like, if the Dragon Gundam from G Gundam gets announced, I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna figure out the money I need to pre-order that because I have built the Rose and I have built the Maxter. If a new G Gundam comes out, that's kind of like a thing where I'm like, well, I pretty much need to get that. So what do I gotta do to make that happen? That's pretty much the rule. That's pretty much the rule right now, is that like, I want to build those. So how do I figure that out? How do I put the money towards that? Really, I don't like to get premium kits that often unless they are super, super fucking cool. because that is money that I could be spending on kits that could be arriving sooner for me to build. And that often I'm getting kits that are less expensive. You know, just the way it is. All right, let me get part of this chest built here, and then we'll do the pause for the cause. I didn't do it on Thursday because we got raided and I was ranting. Hopefully a positive rant, but I was in rant mode on Thursday. I talked a lot about AI and such. I did not watch the first hour. Sometimes I watch the first hour of AEW Collision, and then I watch the West Coast viewing after the fact. But I am going to watch that tonight after this stream, and I do look forward to hearing Tony Schiavone say the word esports, because they are in the Arlington, Texas Esports Center. And so I look forward to hearing the voice of WCW, Tony Schiavone, saying esports. Is it the first time he said esports? Probably not the first time. Is it the first time I'll be hearing him say esports? As far as I can tell, yes. I don't think I've ever heard him say it before. So that's grim, but it is what it is. All right. Oops, I'm going to adjust that there. Let's take a pause for the cause. If you are new to the stream, I will explain what that is and what's happening right now. I am going to talk directly to you for a bit about ways you can support this stream and what I do here. Everything that I am about to bring up is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of the things I'm about to talk about. If you would like to help me out, that would be awesome. If you are already helping me out, that's rad. But I got to tell people about ways they can support and do the things and remind you. I got some call to actions, some CTAs. First and foremost, if you are currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote if you're a Tier 2 subscriber into the chat. Please engage there now by putting those emotes in the chat. Let the people know that's the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money. Your Prime Gaming token, if you have that, if you have Amazon linked with your Twitch, you get that token. You can use that token for anybody. If you wanted to use that token for me, your friend Pat, you could do that now. You don't have to, but that is an easy way to support me, is by becoming a subscriber. You could also gift a sub. John is the only person this month in July that has gifted a sub. If you would like to join the gift sub leaderboard, you could do that now by gifting a sub to someone in the community. You could do it anonymously. You could get credit and end up, take credit for it and end up in the leaderboard. You could also be like Harold, who has cheered and join the cheer leaderboard, because the bits are the bits are good and we appreciate the bits. That's not the only way to support me, but it is the easiest because you're already here on Twitch. But there are other ways to do it, like joining my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. The $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier await you. Await your consideration. Being a patron is another easy way to support what I do here. You get different rewards for different tiers. Consider Patreon. I am currently below $100, which is the first time in several years that I have dropped below $100. Not by much, but I would love to get back over 100, because it would be nice, because that just makes it easier for me to buy model kits when I get that payment at the beginning of the month. I also have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBaer. Over on my YouTube channel, you can become a subscriber for free, of course, because it's YouTube. But if you want to become a member, if that's where you want to put your monthly dollars, you could do that for just $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos a day early, so you get to see them on Tuesday. I recorded my next two videos. They're both good. I think you'll like them, and you get to see them early if you're over there on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. I post a bunch of stuff. I'll talk about some of that later. Now, those are monthly ways to support me, but if you just would like to do a tip, you want to put in something for the tip jar, you could do that through my Ko-Fi or my PayPal. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I take out money to buy model kits. The Shin Burning that I just completed, the Unicorn that I'm building right now, all of those both those kits came from my backlog, and I'm happy to build them. Now, you heard me mention that, oh, hey, welcome. Yes. Hello. Welcome, Ash. Yes, I'm doing my ad read bits of business, but yes, I appreciate you stopping in, and the stream is going well. So I talked about the stuff that I purchased off, or that I have in my backlog that I'm happy to build. Just started one. I mentioned earlier that people did buy stuff off my wish list for my birthday last month, which was very kind of people, and I appreciate it. I do have an Amazon wish list, and I have model kits and Lego sets there. And if you would like to decide what I built next, you could buy something from there. Again, you don't have to do any of this, but if you wanted to, you can. I have put in the option. If you want to give me a belated birthday gift, or you just want to buy something because you'd like to see me build it, I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing that you purchased, called a mailbag video, and then it'll jump the queue and become the next thing I build. I got Lego sets, I got model kits, I got inexpensive kits, I got expensive kits, all kinds of different things and things. Some stuff that's never on sale, the stuff that always seems like it's a pretty good price, stuff that fluctuates. But yeah, if you see something there that you'd like to see me put together, you could purchase it, and again, it'll come to the mail, and then I will pick it up and put it together. And there's some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to have some gear as an option, because sometimes people just want to help me out, but they're like, I don't have an opinion on a model kit, Pat, but here's a toolkit, because that would probably help you out because you need new spudgers. I do need new spudgers. And also having I have a toolkit in there because having a few tools in that would be helpful for other projects that maybe I could do here and there. Let's see. So I talked about that, the wish list. My alternative to Amazon, because it's nice to have alternatives, is I have a Throne wish list. They're a company that specializes in having wish lists for creators. They're pretty cool. And they're not against adult content streamers or content creators of an adult nature. They support those folks. And that's fucking difficult to find. So kudos to Throne. And then, of course, you can support me the most convoluted way. The way that involves so many goddamn steps, but I'm going to keep mentioning it. And I will forever. USA Gundam Store. You go to the USA Gundam Store. You make an account there. You buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store. They send you an email with the gift card code. Then you send me a whisper here on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter, or a message on Blue Sky, or a message on Mastodon with that gift card code. I will then use the gift card code to buy a model kit from USA Gundam Store. Again, the fact that anyone has ever done that, the fact that I think 3 people have done it, wild. I appreciate you. I think that's it of that. I do have, oh yeah, a couple video links for you to check out. Then we'll get back to building. And my apologies for the delay for folks that just want to see this unicorn get built. The Build With Baer Discord is a way to support me. If you would like to help me out and you don't want to spend a dime, you don't want to spend any money, join my Discord. It's open to everybody that follows the link. It is a nice little place. People post build photos. I post build photos. People post stuff they're working on. And then sometimes they just share links they think would be interesting to the community. It's a small little place. It's a subset of this. You're welcome to come hang out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I have a new episode coming up on Monday. If you missed the most recent one, I talked about all of the isekai that is out this season. It's only 8 shows. And one of which didn't even get picked up because it's a short. Shorts haven't been getting picked up lately. But it looked cute, so I might try to find it. I might try to see if somebody has subtitled it. Anyway, and then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. The thing I try to do with Kuma Baer is to recommend shows that are cool as hell that you may have missed from the previous season. And I couldn't remember what this month's recommendation was. It's Delicious in Dungeon, because it just went up on Wednesday, so sometimes I forget what this week was. Because also I record these in bulk, so I forgot. I recommend Delicious in Dungeon is one of my favorite shows from the spring anime season. Therefore, it's also one of my favorite shows from the winter 2024 season, because it was a 2-core. It took me a while to get into Delicious in Dungeon, but it is one of my favorite shows of the year, and I talk about it in about a minute to entice you to check out Delicious in Dungeon. So watch that video. A bunch of people watched it, which is great, because the previous week's Kaiju number 8 did not get a ton of views, which is a bummer. But this one did, and that's awesome. I like to see that with the YouTube shorts. Number go up, make me happy. I'm going to talk about some anime that I have been watching, and then we'll talk about some games and some stuff. I'll hear from you about what you're into and what you're doing. Let's see. All right, I'm going to talk about some anime. Before I do that, we are going to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera so that we can start really diving into this unicorn. And I'm also going to drink some water right now. Okay, when I angle this cup, it doesn't disappear. But when I have it straight on, it does disappear. So that's good to know. The blue cup reacts the opposite way. Weird. I wanted to know. I don't think I've drank water from this kind of glass on with the background removed and paid attention. Okay, before I get into talking about some anime here, I am going to use Google Translate so that I can read what these things say, because that is helpful to have. So I will do that real briefly here, because this kit is from 2009, so they do not have English instructions there, which is fine. They don't need it, but it does mean that it is helpful to use Google Translate. So I'm going to reach over here. This says, install according to the L-shaped hole, view from below. Install according to the L-shaped hole. So that means that this piece here, which is E19, I have to line up with the L-shaped hole on this piece that I'll assemble. And the same thing on the other side, align with the L-shaped hole, view from below. Oh, that's the view of that from below. Okay, great. God, it is so nice to have to be able to do this. Cut neatly. That makes sense. I would have done that. I would have cut that neatly. Google Lens is helpful in scenarios like this. It is very helpful. In the past, you just kind of like look at it for a while and go, all right, I think I know what they want me to do. And then you would act accordingly. And now you have some amount of backup on that. And that is nice. I mean, occasionally, I don't do this much anymore, but I used to watch some videos of people assembling old kits, specifically kits from like the 2000s. I used to look up videos of that because they would, I would get somebody's feedback and they'd say like, this part was impossible. Building this sucked. I don't do that as much because I am far more confident in my model kit building abilities than when I first started building model kits. So I don't do that as much these days. And occasionally I will, after a stream is over, I'll go, I don't think I did this right. And I will try to look up a YouTube video of someone putting it together. Sometimes it's people who are doing the full build. Other times it's people just doing reviews and they might talk about parts that they did not enjoy putting together. And then you get the fine feedback on those parts. Okay, I'm going to talk about some anime here. Oshi no Ko Season 2, we are covering it. I have been, in the past, I have kind of felt like I should probably stick to the first seasons of a show, but Oshi no Ko is really interesting, and I I want to talk about it. And then, of course, we'll talk about the newest episode of Dungeon People, which I'm really, really enjoying. I thought this episode was pretty fucking neat, so we'll talk about that as well. And I got a sticker that needs to go on. E19 is going to have a sticker that goes on it. So, okay. So these go here. This goes here. I'm kind of popping these out around the same time here. Just to make my life easier. Okay, so this is episode 3 of season 2 of Oshi no Ko. A lot of this episode is jumping back and forth a little bit in time. It's not all fully linear. So apologies if it seems like I'm jumping around, but I'm kind of doing this in, I'm attempting to do this in chronological order. Okay, I need B5 and B6. Why are you hard to find? There it goes. B5 and B6. Great. Okay, so B Komachi is making it into an adult-oriented magazine. Ruby is with the group, and she can't join in the discussion of what they're talking about, so she's frustrated. Ruby is looking for more concert-related work because that's kind of her focus. She just, she wants to do more of the performing part for B Komachi, which makes sense for her to want that. It's kind of showing us a little bit of what's going on in the background because we've been really focused on this whole adaptation of Tokyo Blade. Miyako wants to wait until Kana's done with Tokyo Blade before she starts booking more concerts for the group, which makes sense. But again, part of that is the fact that their objectives don't fully align with each other. So it is kind of awkward. But she literally is just like, yeah, we should take a break from that until Kana's done with the stage play. And then Kana's just like, hey, I'm here. And everything's on fucking hold. Everything's on hold for this production. So we just gonna go like this, I think. Yeah, okay. So it goes like that. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm applying this properly and correctly. And then I need E19 again, and that's going to be E18 over here. And these are hard to read for me, so my apologies. E18 goes on this side. E19 goes on that side. Okay. Yeah, so the Tokyo Blade rehearsals are off, so she's kind of free. Aqua is going to a stage play with Akane. He's going to go watch a stage play. You may remember that he's had kind of a low opinion on theater in general. And the last episode was about that, of him just like not vibing. So now he's going to go see a play. And we go to see them doing Smash Heaven. And so it's important in this instance to remember that this is a grown man in a teenager's body. This man was a country doctor, but he lived a life. He already had opinions on plays. And here's the thing, right? He didn't grow up with or wasn't exposed to how good stage plays have gotten. He only knew about idols because one of the girls that he was looking after was obsessed with an idol. That's how he got into one specific idol, was because of that. Just a patient of his who is now his sister, but whatever. That's besides the point. That's not related to what I'm talking about here, weirdly enough. Okay, so 19 is this one. Okay. So he's like, oh yeah, stage plays can be good. It was cool. He's like, I enjoyed the production. I thought the script adaptation was interesting. He hasn't really seen this shit. And then immediately, he's also like, there's no fucking way Tokyo Blade's going to be good. He's like, now that I've seen what you can do, I think even less of this production, which I found to be very funny. That he was just like, oh yeah, this isn't, what we're doing isn't good. We have to put a sticker on this. This is a clear part that apparently has a sticker that goes on it, which feels unbelievably shitty that I am putting a sticker over a cool, clear part. Let's look at it real quick here. Yeah. You see this part here? There's like a little dot on the shoulder. You can't see. That's right. You can't see my mouse. You can't see my mouse on here. Anyway, the shoulder next to the shoulder is like this little part that sticks up, and it's mostly there's a little piece that pops out that's clear, and most of it is white. And they just give me a clear piece and a sticker that I have to fold over to basically hide almost all of it. And that's not great. I'm glad we're doing this now. You know, it's a little late in the stream, but whatever. We'll get it done. But that just means that we won't have any stickers. Once I do the head is 3 stickers, and the shoulder piece here is 2 stickers. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right, so then this is going to go... But I don't know how this works. Okay, so I'll go like that. Sorry. This is one of those stickers that folds and bends, and you gotta like, you kind of want to do it right, and I don't know if I did it right, but I at least did it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right, that sticker's on. That's okay. And then this goes like this, yeah. All right. Okay. Goes like that. There it goes. Okay. And then we will build the other side of this. All right. So he's just like, oh yeah, stage plays can be pretty rad. This is not gonna be that though. Akane is happy that Aqua like enjoyed himself and actually has like anything positive to say, because that's not always his vibe. Also that she was able to, you know, because she's got the crush and all that, so she was able to bring him into like her world a bit. She's happy about that he enjoyed himself and all those things. Let's see. Raida shows up and says that he is in charge of Smash Heaven's production, the play that you saw. And he's so happy that people enjoyed it. And he's basically in it for to see people's happy faces. Aqua talks to him about the script, and he says things aren't going well because of Akupo's stubbornness. So that's an issue with the script that they're working on. And Aqua's just like, I love this. Aqua's like, I've only seen, he doesn't say this part, but he's like, I only seen one stage play, but I can tell that Abiko knows fucking nothing about it. So he's like an expert now, but he's like, I don't know, compared to like a good play, I can tell you that this one, that we're doing one that is not going to be good. Which I don't think he's wrong. Aqua's like, doesn't think that a noteworthy script, basically just like, I don't think a good adaptation of Tokyo Blade is going to work, and so then the stage around play isn't going to be good. And apparently, Goa wrote the script for the adaptation for Smash Heaven, which he's not necessarily supposed to say, but he does say that. And talks about like why Goa has done work why Goa's work is appreciated. And they don't particularly, Raida doesn't want to lose Goa from the production, but he is stuck. And Aqua's just like, you're literally the only person that can make this work, that can get us out of this mess. So like, you feel stuck, but you've got to step up to do this. Let's see. And apparently this, and then again, reminder, Aqua does kind of want his sister to be happy, and he does want to honor his mother. But the real motivation of Aqua doing anything at all, is to piece together the clues of who set up his mother for murder, set up his mother to be murdered. So that's his motivating factor more than anything else in this whole thing. But again, he enjoyed the stage play enough that he wants to help out Aqua. Or Aqua wants to help out with getting Tokyo Blade's production running smoothly. So he wants to help to keep to figure things out. They go to Yoriko's house, and Aqua kind of explains why he wanted to be there. Sorry, let me get this together here. This is not attaching in a way that I need it to. Oof. Oh, and that piece fell out. So I gotta make sure that goes in there. This, I believe, is almost connected, right? You can tell it's not right because that doesn't look correct. So I gotta pop this out. Let's see if I can get this together. And then this needs to be together. Yeah, this is not right. So let me get a spudger. Try to separate this. Aqua thinks that Yoriko and Abiko are tight, and so therefore they could maybe get what they need via like, you know, a friendship, a connection somewhere there. They can use that. They can work with that. Okay, this did not pop together right, so I'm going to try to disassemble it and then try again, everybody. You know, first you don't succeed. Try one more time. And I'm going to try by putting these on this way first, which is opposite of the way they want, but might work out. This doesn't seem to fit right, so. Nope, that's not right. Okay. We'll get back to this in a second because this is giving me frustrations. So, all right. So then this can go like this. All right. Now can I get the back piece on here without any issues? If I can, that would be great. And also got to remember this neck piece is a little flimsy. So, nope. Oof, this is frustrating. It's probably because it's towards the end of the stream and like it's just like a little weird. And it's probably not even that weird. It's just bothering me. But these aren't lined up right. Okay. It's one of those things where like once this snaps together, I'll be like, oh, I don't even remember that when I'm done with this build. I'll be like, oh yeah, I guess the chest was a little weird and didn't go on straight, but I don't even remember that. Here it goes. There it was. That wasn't really annoying. But now it's connected and everybody's happy. Yeah, it's got a little wiggle room for the arms. That's good. Great. I have completed that section of it. Jesus, that. I will say, that did take a little while and was frustrating. But now we're done with most of the stickers. So, other than the head stickers, and I need a 30, a 17, which is, remember to clip out cleanly, and then some B pieces here. So, a 30 and a 17. These here. Okay, great. Get that together. Okay. Aqua wants to know about Abiko's whereabouts, but apparently she's got a lot on her plate and talks a bit about it because Abiko used to be Yoriko's former assistant, and apparently she spills the tea, the rude tea, that Abiko is only able to socialize about manga related topics, can only talk about manga, and isn't like good at socializing outside of her passion and her job, which again, rude to say that to a bunch of fucking teens. Yorko says people can identify a mangaka's true colors by examining their work. And apparently, Tokyo Blade became popular once it got serialized, which made Yoriko feel like Abiko surpassed her because she was the first to get serialized. And apparently Abiko feels like guilt about that and gave her a bit of a or maybe gave her a superiority complex there, because now she's done what her she was the assistant of someone, and now she has in her mind surpassed her that person. We learn about a bunch of other manga editors and what their jobs are, and it's a lot. And then Akane kind of like breaks the ice about what's going on, about the various scenario, the whole thing, and can asking if Yoriko can help them out, and she kind of admits that she doesn't really feel much like, at the end of the day, it's her former employee, former assistant, doesn't really like her all that much, which is fun. Not good on socializing, fixed on a simple topic. Sounds like she's on the autism spectrum. Yeah, I don't want to make, like, we don't know a ton about this character, about her. We just know that she is like a manga art. Basically, what we know about her is, now we've learned a little bit more, but previously all we knew was that she's a mangaka. So she's a manga writer who wants to have too much control over the adaptation of her manga into a stage play, and that she needs to back the fuck off a bit. In general, that's like barely all we've really learned about the character. So now we're learning a little bit more about her. And then she said that in the past that she has tried to talk to Abiko and that didn't work. And then basically this is a flashback where she is like, again, Harold, this is episode 3, and this character was introduced in episode 2, or briefly in 1. Like, I don't know if they are going to code this character as autistic. I cannot tell you that they were doing a poor job on not labeling this character or not, because we just learned this information in this episode that this character is not good at socializing. And I don't know if this is poor representation or literally the thing you have to remember about Oshi no Ko. Oshi no Ko, this is an anime adaptation of a manga about people in the entertainment industry, and the second season is about a mangaka trying to fiddle with an adaptation of their work written by a mangaka. So this is a person writing about his own industry, and so like he's giving his insert character that is basically him some character traits, and I don't know if that's where he's going with it or not. But the character of Abiko is basically the mangaka trying to write about his own experiences, becoming a better person in work. So again, I understand you're just venting. I don't know if this is poor representation. I should also say that this particular mangaka is bad sometimes at handling things with care, which we talked about in season 1, where he did a very piss poor job with a particular with an issue that was based on a real person. So I am not defending this mangaka in this. I am just trying to give some context that I don't know if this is a poor representation or not, but I do know that this mangaka has certainly in the past gotten it wrong when it comes to being clear about some important issues. So I will say that. All right, let me try to figure out where this piece goes, and it looks like there's a slot for it. One of the downsides of doing a kit that has clear parts is on this piece I can see where all the indents are. On a clear piece, it's not always easy for me to see that. That might not be a thing that affects a lot of people, but it does affect me, where sometimes I can't see where a part is supposed to snap into a thing because my eyes can't see the slot in it. Yes, I understand, Harold. I do hear where you're coming from. So this flashback was Abiko saying that, like, telling Yoriko. Basically, Yoriko had an adaptation that didn't go well, and Akubo was blaming her for it. It was like, you need to be more assertive. You need to tell people what's going on. And then we get another flashback. So we had a flashback here, and then we have a flashback that is for even further beyond. So this is, again, kind of poor adaptation of this material. Still trying to figure out where this goes. So hold on. Oh, there it is. Is that it? There it is. It goes down here. Okay. That took a while to figure out. I could not, and still can't really see where the indent is that this little piece is supposed to go into, but I have since found it, thankfully. There it is. I think if we look at the large photo here, and see it, I can always do that. Yes, okay. So there's little flaps here, and then there's other stuff that goes on the top that I don't see, that I haven't done yet. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so we have the flashback. We have the arguments between the two characters. Abiko talking about Tokyo Blade's success, which is he's going to get an anime, and the manga sold a bunch of copies. And she is looking for this is now that we're in the present, we have Yoriko saying to Akane that she can't do anything, and she explains how she can't help them. She doesn't have the ability to make her former assistant listen to her. It's just not going to work out. And she lists all the reasons why. And they seem to understand. But they're like, hey, here is a envelope. Just next time, do us this favor. If you don't want to intervene, next time you see her, just hand over this envelope. Okay, so I need 38 and 37. A38 and A37. What? That doesn't look right. Oh, okay. There we go. These are the right pieces. Great. 38, A37. We're doing the backpack, which often you don't do before you've done other stuff. So that is weird. Let's see. Later, Yoriko does visit Akubo. And apparently, Abiko is busy because she fired her assistants because they couldn't keep up with her vision. And she has not been sleeping well, and she's been working harder than normal because she, of course, fired her assistants. Yoriko says, hey, eventually this is gonna backfire on you. You need to stop with this. You need to take a break. Otherwise, your work will suffer. And Yoriko's like, I guess I'll help. I guess I'll help you out. And they start helping. And Yoriko starts asking Abiko about some other decisions she's made. And Abako shares her fears that she is afraid that if she stops working at the current pace that she's doing, that her audience will abandon her if she like takes breaks, which is a thing that mangaka deal with. These are real scenarios. These are real things that that they face. These feelings. And then they apologize to each other. They kind of bicker back and forth. They argue a bunch. They apologize. And Yoriko's just like, hey, if you respond to people that are trying to help you the way you did to me, you will lose more people. Abako asks Yoriko for advice, and basically Yoriko says, like, you've got to learn how to compromise. You've got to learn about compromise, because media, like, a mangaka artist works with an editor, but if you are doing other things, you have to be collaborative. These other fields are collaborative fields, which is kind of like the main thing in the whole series here. That one of the major points of this whole show is the idea that you gotta collaborate. You can't do things on your own. But she doesn't want her work to get tarnished. She doesn't want it to be bad. But Abako's like, look, Sweet Today's adaptation was bad, and I don't want that for my work. And let's see. We end the episode with Abako watching one of Sweet Today's final episodes and kind of thinking about what was said to her. And Yoriko later gives her the envelope from Aqua because that was a ticket to see Smash Heaven stage play. And apparently this was like Aqua's grand plan was, well, this moved me and kind of gave me inspiration, so maybe it'll give her inspiration, which is, like, if that was, again, this was not a big mystery of like what's in the envelope, but I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. That's fine. Yeah. All right. Sure. That's what it was. It was just a ticket to go see this play. Sure. Okay. And then it ends with Akabo going to see the play. One of the reasons why I didn't talk about this episode on Thursday is because we were talking about a bunch of other things. We didn't get to it. The other reason was, I like Oshi no Ko quite a bit, and I promise I will not harp on this much. One of the things I really like about Oshi no Ko is that it's the duality of this, like, look at this, like, fairly reasonable look at the entertainment industry through the eyes of young people, but it's also a murder mystery. And the episodes where there is zero murder mystery make me a little upset, because I want there to be a balance between the two. I want there to be more of the, like, Aqua trying to get close to people, Aqua sharing his motivations. I want that part. And, like, because here's the thing, right? If this is isn't really, if the murder mystery is not that important, then why the fuck did we do it? Why is this boy a reincarnation of the doctor that helped the mother of these kids? Why is the sister a kid that died of cancer that was a big fan of that? Like, why do these characters exist in this way if they are, like, if this isn't a murder mystery? Because I have had people say, well, Pat, the murder mystery part isn't even important. That's just the thing that happens. The important part of it is, like, trying to get these plays together and getting these characters and, like, reforming the idol group to honor the mother and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, then don't fucking do the mother part. Like, don't do the murder mystery at all if the murder mystery is not important. And so I, on occasion, feel very annoyed by this particular piece of fiction. because yeah. Like, if I'm going to have to wait till the end of this season for that, like, it does a good job. I'm not saying it doesn't. I will say, again, reminder that I was very unhappy with the what happened in the first season, dealing with the character that had suicidal thoughts, because that was based on a real situation that happened with a real person in the entertainment field, and it was not necessarily a great adaptation of that. Because it's an anime adaptation. In the manga, it was a couple chapters. In the anime, it was part of one episode. The girl who was thinking of ending her own life decided not to do that pretty fucking quickly because it's an anime. And they got to move along. And it felt not great. So I'm not saying that this mangaka handles the original source material handles everything great, but I would like a little bit more of the murder mystery in the murder mystery show. Anyway, I've got some time to tell you about a very different anime that has a very different vibe called Dungeon People. If you have not been watching Dungeon People, our main character is named Clay. She is an adventurer. She's part of the Thieves Guild. She primarily does dungeon raids. That is her thing. In episode 1, she is approached by Langdis, who is some sort of a ethereal creature. She is young. She looks human, but I don't think she is human. She is the dungeon master. Apparently, dungeons are run by monsters, and there's a whole thing where if you kill a monster in a dungeon, you are killing a copy of a clone of that monster. And it leaves behind a gem, which is where the gems come from, she's learning all this because Clay has been hired to work in the dungeon. In the second episode, we watched her, we learned about that. So every episode, we're learning a little bit about the world, and we're seeing the characters that inhabit that world, which has been pretty fun to do. And then in this episode, Clay and Langdis are cleaning the control room. They're helping out a bit. Rangard arrives, and Rangard is making all of the weapons and armor in the dungeon. We'll see more of Rangard in another episode, I believe, because we don't see much of him in this episode. All right, so I need B4 and D4 to the beams, and then also A32 and A31. Okay, so I put the backpack on here. Now we need to put the beam sabers, which are B4 and B4. There are 4 beam sabers. That's cool. I don't know if all of them go on this kit, but I believe so, which is fun. Anyway, there are adventurers that have entered the city. The Ice Wolf's Fangs have entered the dungeon, and they're observing them. Clay mentions that she has dealt with these characters before, these adventurers, because they tried to recruit her, and they also tried hitting on her, and she was not pleased with them at the time. Apparently, the Ice Wolf's Fangs have made it the farthest anyone has ever had in the dungeon, with the exception of our character, Clay. So we're starting to get the sense of like, oh, that's why Clay was hired, because she's explored the dungeon the best, and that's why she got hired to work in this dungeon. We think. We don't really know, but we think that's why. Clay is interested in fighting the group, but she realizes she can't fight the group in the clone form of her human body. She just can't do it. And so Langus calls in Mr. Kreitz. Kreitz is a some sort of like lich or like a Grim Reaper type. And he's basically like, I can give you a skeleton body that we can basically like clone you into a skeleton body, and you can control the skeleton, and that way you can use the skeleton to attack these people along with my other skeletons, if that's something that you want to do. And basically he's just like, put in a skeleton so you can fight. Also, hey, I just want to know real quick, are you cool with killing humans? Because that is something that we need to know pretty much right now. And I'll give you some advice and basically get some advice on how to use the body and all that. Let's see. Clay, they want Clay to fight the vanguard of Ice Wolf Fang. And wants to know if she's capable of murder. And before she can answer, we get a flashback. This is one of 2 flashbacks in this episode about Clay's dad talking to Clay about adventurers and how she needs to look out for them. Now, Clay's dad has apparently been missing, and her big mission in life has been to try to find him in dungeons. That's why she's in some dungeons, was to try to find out what happened to him. And hey, this part's content warning for this one. You might want to, be aware. This has been pretty much like kind of a chill. There's some action in it, but mostly it's been a chill series. But Clay's dad is like, hey, you got to be careful around other adventurers because just being humans don't always treat other humans well. They might rob, attack you, or violate you just out of spite. And then we have another flashback of Clay encountering some adventurers when she's younger, and she's hiding from them because they are trying to attack her, and she's hiding from them. And then we flash back. Clay says, I have no problem hunting humans. And then we go to the flashback of those 3 adventurers that were hunting her, and she has apparently killed them. And again, this show talking about having a dad warn her daughter about being wary of humans and adventurers was kind of surprising. That was not a thing that I was expecting to see in this anime. Let's see. They run into the thief from the 3 wolves' fangs, spots the skeletons, and Clay recognizes that the thief has spotted them because, of course, she is also a thief. Let's see. And then we get into a fight scene. A bunch of this episode is this fight scene. Let's see. I need 31 and 32, everybody. I got to find 31 there. Okay, the blue, right? It would make sense that the backpack, which is all blue, would have a couple blue more pieces here that need to go on here. So we'll get that. That's 32, which is this side, and 31, the other side. Okay. Basically, Clay, to sum the rest of this episode up, Clay just like realizes, oh, hey, I've never used magic before, but there's magic inside of this skeleton, so I can probably use magic. That allows her to pierce the priest of the group's magic. They retreat, and it looks like they completely left because they weren't able to go chase them because apparently, and we learned this from world building, the different bosses, the different floors don't invade other floors, which explains why monsters just don't roam wherever they want. So once you escape to another floor of the dungeon, you don't run into the people from that, from the previous, which is just a little bit of world building to kind of explain the dungeon a little bit, which I thought was pretty neat that they went so far to do that, to explain that part. I don't know how these pieces fit in, so hold on. I got to figure these pieces out. Gotta go like that. Okay, it goes like that. That makes sense. And Langdis, then there's the episode kind of ends with Langus saying, like, I need a new name. Give me a new name. And Clay comes up with the name Bell. And so Langdis's new name is Bell. And I don't understand why that happened. And I don't think we're meant to know right now why that scene was in there, but it's just a little bit of an extra little scene at the end. We just got raided by the Goof Cat, and we are so close to being done with this stream, but I promise you, people that came in on this raid, we will go do something cool. We will go visit a cool person. But yeah, I am just about wrapping the stream up here, so my apologies if you were here to see some model kit building, but we've been going for about 2 hours, so we are wrapping up. So my apologies. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. Raiders, hello and welcome. But yeah, we are going to go and probably wrap the stream up in a minute anyway. We got a lot done on the chest here. There's a couple more parts that I think go on at the end of this particular piece. Does it feel like we're dark here? I gotta check my light because this feels dark. All of a sudden, I looked over at my monitor and I'm like, I think the overhead is a little dark. So I gotta look in. I gotta check my light sources here because I'm feeling a little like this is not as bright as it could be. So one of my bulbs might be dimming. But yeah, I thought that was a good episode of Dungeon People. I was excited to watch it. We will get into more with Dungeon People in a future episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. But we are going to end tonight's stream with a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool shit. We're going to go give them some support and go hang out with them. I'm going to figure out why my lighting throughout the course of the stream seems to have dimmed. I believe it is probably the light bulb that I was using must be one of the two light bulbs I have here must be dimming. And so I will figure that out before the next stream. But yeah, thank you, Ghost Val. Thanks for being here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. We are going to go find someone doing cool shit and go hang out with them because as we would do at the end of every stream, is to go on a raid, who was doing stuff, and then I want to see how long they've been doing stuff. Because that's also important to me. Because sometimes people wrap up. We're going to go raid Liz Star. My friend Liz is streaming, so we're going to go hang out with Liz. Liz has been going, but Liz will be going for quite a while because Liz does long streams. So feel free to come along on this raid. I hope you had a great time here tonight. I had a good time. I hope you can come along on this raid. I hope to see you on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, while I continue to work on the Unicorn Gundam. I hope you had a good time. I will see you in the future. And all I can say is, have a good one, everyone. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.